Welcome back again. I know it's been a minute, but we've got another set of content, another episode dropping for you guys as we go into the Christmas break. Today, as a standard, before we let people get into their introductions, we're going to talk about the Uniball season, some of the stuff that's happened during the Adult Ball off-season, OTAs, new season possible alignments. We're going to talk a little bit about European football, as there's been a London team that's been announced to be part of the European football. We're going to get into that and talk about that a little bit. I know this is mainly a British American football focused podcast, but since London's trying to represent, let's talk about a little bit what's happening out in Europe before finally looking into a little bit on GB, the governing body, their vision, as well as some of the teams who have a vision for the league and how they're trying to propel that forward. So we got a lot of good content for you. First and foremost, before we get around to it, let me have everyone introduce themselves. We'll start off with one of our stalwarts, T.
Hey everyone, I'm T. Shout out Football America for the t-shirt and shout out the London Blitz youth team, the Conquerors. It's got all of like their wins on the back. But it's a sick t-shirt, man.
You don't want to show it to the people?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm trying to.
I'm talking about the back. I thought
my bad. I don't even know if they can really see it. I got a wide back, so it should be good. But yeah, nah, sick. But yeah, looking forward to today.
All right, cool. Then we'll go to go ahead.
Junior, Coventry Phoenix, GB.
Are you
Still
sure?
here. I wasn't there yesterday.
Do you have to retrial?
God forbid. God forbid. Apparently, well, we'll see, innit?
When that email hits your box, you'll be happy when you'll be like, forget this nonsense. They don't know what they had.
Yeah.
And today, our special guest star, who we got?
Josh, Loughborough University students.
Okay, deep in this.
Now Coventry Phoenix.
Oh wow! Okay, let the people know. What team were you with?
Previously with Nottingham.
Grant Lawless is going to be upset.
Well, he's stepped aside now.
He's not
Around OT anymore.
Who's
I don't know
the GM? I think Simon Stockwell's like GM or something like that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
love it.
But looking forward to it as well.
Cool, wonderful. So yeah, today we've got Josh on the podcast, giving you a little bit of that perspective from the Uniball, particularly like as we're deep in the Uniball season. We're going into the Christmas breaks now, across all the divisions. So yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So what we first have here, we'll look into the National Prem. Of course, having one of the premier talent in the National Prem, DC at the UWE, 4-time national champion. 4-time?
Like me personally?
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about a program. I'm talking about a program. I'm talking about
the program is 5-time.
5-time national champion.
For the last 4.
Okay. For the last 4s in a row.
The last 4s in a row.
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool.
5-time.
And
you 4?
Huh?
You 4?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Are we talking about me personally?
You personally at UE as a coach.
Oh, as a coach.
As a coach.
As a coach, 3.
Oh, you got 1 as a player, right?
I did indeed.
Okay.
Well, I got 2 as a player, technically, and 3 if we count the one from this summer, and then Elite 5s.
I said UE.
We're talking about you.
Oh my!
We love Elite 5s, but you don't.
You're not counting
You
that.
won money. I mean,
Yeah.
If anything, that's
More
the
than
more
you do,
important one.
yeah.
So yeah, with Uniball here, we've got a graphic of these are all the teams' last home game that they've had. So their most latest home game that they've had. If they didn't have one, I've gone and taken a little of a snippet from a graphic that Inside Britball, always serving the community, have given up. So Leeds Beckett didn't have one for their home game, so that's there. And looking at it, it seems like there have been some big scores. It's interesting that obviously Nottingham lost against Durham, which I found very surprising. I don't know how others felt on that. I found that surprising, particularly when they beat you guys. I found that surprising. So to be honest,
I think that got him.
Why the side? Were you shocked? Were you expecting?
You just gotta own it.
I think it's fair. Obviously, like both great teams with a lot of great players, and I think it was. Surprising for me is the wrong word, but I just seen like, all right, this team is just gonna go bombs away. They got an okay running game. It's a lot of that outside zone stuff. Like they want to run outside the tackles anyway, but really they want to pass the ball. So I thought that Nottingham had the back end to be able to like kind of slow it down at the very least. But I think just things on the day did not go.
My experience with Durham before going into the Nottingham game was what they were doing to our defense was try and run game. We'll stuff the run immediately after ball over the top. And that's how they were able to run up that score you see on the screen against us. But when I played Notts, their DB core, they were good. I felt like they were no slight to my teammates or anything, or like they have a better DB core than us. So I thought they would be able to cap all that stuff down. But
so
clearly,
one of the key guys wasn't playing.
number one, yeah.
Miles Butt.
Miles on play,
So
yeah.
Miles
Apparently he's
didn't play the
injured,
game.
yeah.
They brought in one of their young boys.
But even then, the younger guys they're pretty decent. One came from Blitz under 19.
Yeah, the other one.
He's pretty good.
The one that started this game, I think he was at NFL Academy. They've obviously got young Sko as well, former GB under 19, and obviously he led the
league in
interceptions.
Yeah, adult league in interceptions.
Yeah, I think it's just it's
Sorry,
young.
so does Miles and Schofield both play corner then?
No, Sko's moved to his actual position as
He's
safety.
playing at safety. Okay, good.
And Miles is at corner.
Okay. And did anyone actually manage to catch the game? I didn't manage to catch the game. So do we know, like, was it like a lot of running touchdowns? Was it a lot of passing touchdowns? Was it special teams having a bit of an issue? Like, what happened?
Oh man! So passing touchdowns. QB has also run. Oh, was it? Not QB that ran one in. I think they went up 14. Yeah. Then not scored, and I think passed a touchdown. So they hit. There was a blown coverage because they hit 18. And he was wide open. Then not scored. Then Durham scored again to make it 21-7. I think it was 21-7 at the half. Then I want to say maybe in the wrong order, but Durham returned a punt for a touchdown.
Okay.
There was some interception. I think there was at least one interception in the game. Scored another passing touchdown. Nottingham got another one in. But yeah, it was out of hand at the half. Like, I think 2 scores down is low-key out of hand. Maybe you say 3 is actually out of hand. But it didn't look like the Nottingham that faced us. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that was partly why I was surprised. Obviously, they've gone into the Christmas break in a very strong position, 4 wins, 1 loss. But that was partly why I was surprised because I managed to catch their first game against Loughborough. Like, I was live there, and when I was watching the Nottingham team, like, I was watching this and being brutally honest, to be honest, it's like I was like, if this is how they play against UWE, they're gonna get bent over and worked. Like, that's generally what I believe because Loughborough were actually really quite in that game, and it was
6-0 at half.
Yeah, and it was only
we felt like we could have won that game. Like,
I felt you could watching it from the sideline.
Bailey went out injured.
He did go out injured.
QB Bailey,
and midway through second quarter. I think it was
the second quarter or early third.
Yeah, it took a helmet to the back, and then that's when it really stuffed our momentum. But like, we were like energized going into the game. We were like, damn, 6-0. What, 1 touchdown? But
it was not only also that the game was close. It was even also like watching it. It was just one of the earlier games of the season. I have no doubt that they've changed up, but it's like when I was watching it, I was looking at the QB. I felt like the O-line did a very excellent job. The guy had time in the pocket like for days, all the time. But the QB almost seemed like he was always looking for deep throws. There were nice intermediate stuff that was wide open. He didn't want to take it. He would scramble sometimes when it wasn't necessary. And they looked like they didn't really get out of gear 2 or gear 3. And then their only outlet was like basically Pedro or their wide receiver who they were targeting. And occasionally you were doubling him. And although they were targeting him, he was making some big plays, but he wasn't consistently always getting them to move the chains in sticky situations, which is why
I think Ben Harrison was the one that was moving the chains a lot against us. But then even then, like, those drives will end up getting stuffed or they won't come out with points. But Ben was the one that was like, the killers, 3rd down and long, and we think that we're going to be able to stop him here, and there would just be like he'll be in the slot running like a hitch or something. He'll take it for another 10 yards and keep those drives going.
Yeah, he yards off.
But like, as well. Talking about the QB, yeah, no disrespect or anything, obviously, but I wasn't really impressed with him as well coming out that first game against us because I was like, damn, like, he did not look that good. Like, obviously, he did not look that good. But I guess maybe he must have fixed something between our game and your game because apparently he was looking a lot better in your game. You can obviously speak more about it.
He did look. He looked good. I mean, I never like to say, I don't like the idea that we were bad, therefore he was good. I think the two things can just exist. Yeah. So one thing was like, we struggled with kind of setting the edge against him. So nothing downfield, he'll take off run and pick up the first down. We had a couple mismatches with Pedro in the slot against one of our linebackers, and that's a recipe for disaster as well. Yeah, like the QB looks superhuman against us, to be completely honest. And I mean, with that, we stopped them a bunch of times. That last drive I think we had a PI, we had a face cage. It was probably another unsportsmanlike conduct. So it didn't help. But we stopped him a bunch of times when we needed to, got off the field, stopped them in the red zone when it was like 4th down, 4th and 2, I think it was, and we get a stop in the red zone and when they need a score. But yeah, it just we kind of made him. He looked superhuman against us in comparison to how he looked against Loughborough, and then in comparison to how he looked against Durham.
Yeah, and that's really what surprised me. So it's been almost like a yo-yo.
Also, matchups make fights.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
The Durham knots back and forth over the past few years.
Yeah.
They get the better of each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, that's fair.
We
Yeah.
can now talk about the last 2 years. Like
Yeah.
we split in the regular season with Nottingham last year, right? We played Durham, and now at the point, Durham will come out on the 7th of Feb and be like, yeah, you guys are coming to our house.
Yeah.
We're gonna absolutely smoke you, and like rightfully so. Look
Yeah.
at the results of it.
100%. 100%. Like it's been clear that you, Durham, and Nottingham have all put yourselves atop. And like some of the discussions I've heard from some of the coaches in and around the league is that this has been one of the most competitive national Prem as they've been, particularly with the fact that it's three teams fighting.
Losses.
Yeah.
Everyone's lost to
One-
each
one
other.
L.
Like the top 3 teams, everyone.
No way, you didn't need to be corrected. I was going to let it slide, but
Everyone's lost to each other. Everyone's trading
but
blows.
4 out of 5 have
It's
won a
quite
game as well. So
Yeah. Talking about 4 out of 5 winning the game, your final home game, finishing off this this half of the season strong, like in terms of your home fixtures, getting that win against Leeds Becky, and I imagine because you guys have had a tough first half.
Very, very tough. It's so tricky being in this league because especially in our situations where we don't get scholars, we don't get people come over. You're telling a player that has never played the sport before to pick up a sport, and then he's playing in this massive league that's like super competitive. Guys that have been playing since they were I don't know, when Pee Wee football starts. Like losing by that many scores, you can see some of those scores up on the screen. Losing by that much can be very demoralizing.
It can be
demoralizing to them, and then might not want them. They're not getting the full football experience in terms of the wins as well. So again, a game like the one against Leeds, although it was a hard fought battle, was it was much needed at the point.
No, that is good, and it's good that you got that win, and it's probably helped morale. Part of me would argue that when you guys accepted going into the national prem, this was very foreseeable.
100%.
If it was the case where you didn't want to put some back in, look to try and get some scholars, it was always foreseeable that a mollywhopping was coming from bullets. It was always foreseeable that you would have some tough games against Nottingham, and I think you've particularly against Nottingham, I think you've often played better than is expected, even if the scoreline hasn't necessarily always shown it.
100%.
Durham are an interesting team because Durham were even good back when I played at Loughborough. And that's 7, 8 years ago.
In Loughborough. I've never beaten Durham this whole
Yeah,
time.
Durham
It's the
have
most
been good.
frustrating thing to me. I want to take one game away from them, but it's never happened.
And it's interesting though because I feel like their standard has often yo-yoed between not necessarily between being excellent and being extremely poor trash, but unlike with Nottingham and Bullets, who've necessarily, if you have a tolerance sort of range on them, it's very tight. I feel like Durham's tolerance band in terms of their performance year to year can be quite large. They're always in and around excellent, but there's excellent where they're here, and then there's excellent where they're here. While you always see Nottingham and UW Bullets in a much tighter tolerance
100%.
band. So I've always found it interesting. But it looks like this year could be another year where they really try and press.
Excellent, yeah.
And then of course we've got Leeds Beckett, who unfortunately